We first profiled this teenager as someone who beat the odds from a rare liver disease. He captured the attention of local media, the Saints, and even won an ESPY award. But tonight, the Drug Enforcement Administration has raided Jarius Robertson's foundation. The raids took place this morning in Laplace at the office of the foundation called It Takes Lives to Save Lives, and also at the family's home in Reserve.
Well, no arrests have been made. Danny Monteverde is following the story and joins us live with more. Danny, so many people have been inspired by that young man. What have you found?
That's right, Karen. It's safe to say that pretty much anyone who lives in the New Orleans area and even nationwide is, several people have heard the name Jarius Robertson. He's a name that's well known, again, both locally and nationally. What we don't know is why the DEA is looking into his foundation and apparently his father, and that's leading to many questions tonight. The office of the It Takes Lives to Save Lives Foundation was dark and locked up Wednesday afternoon. That was the scene hours after agents with the Drug Enforcement Administration raided the space in a Laplace strip mall. Agents also arrived around 7 a.m. to the Reserve home where Jordy Robertson, Jarius Robertson's father, often stays. Jordy Robertson is the listed agent for the organization according to Secretary of State records. It's not yet clear what agents are looking for, but an agency spokeswoman tells Eyewitness News the DEA is the lead agency. Once its investigation is done, she says, the U.S. Attorney's Office will handle any possible prosecution. We tried to contact Jordy Robertson today. His fiancée, Ashley Dewey, said he wasn't home, but confirms the agents were there earlier. How many was it? Do you know?
I don't know. It was a whole lot of them. I don't know by head count. So whatever you need to know, you could just contact Jordy if he call you back. If not, you have to just get it from out the wind, I guess.
We tried to call him
and cannot accept new messages at this time.
But couldn't leave any messages. And so again tonight you see the door here at the It Takes Lives to Save Lives Foundation locked up, the lights off. We should make clear that while Jarrius is the face of this organization, the DEA confirms he himself is not under any criminal investigation or any investigation at all. Reporting live in Laplace, Danny Monteverde, Eyewitness News.